Good morning, Internet. This is the old fat dad. Welcome back to another beautiful day on the Goober Nation gun range. Today we are bringing the 17 WSM back out to do some shooting, and we're going to test out some rather rare ammo that a viewer sent me. I'm going to link his channel below. I've got also probably a link up here for one of my favorite videos that he's made recently. He's got some pretty good stuff. If you want to see some very thorough scientific testing, he's the man to check out. But for our video today, stuff he sent is this 25 grain 17 WSM HE ammo. Kind of hard to get. How does it stack up to the 20 grain stuff I've been shooting before? Let's go to the table and find out. And here is that box of ammo right here. As you can see, it's a 25 grain bullet, and it's going to be going at 2,600 feet per second per the manufacturer. The other round we're shooting is the 20 grain variety, and it's this guy right here, American Eagle 20 grain, going about 3,000 feet per second. When we tested this 20 grain ammo out last time, it was going 3,000 feet per second. So manufacturer's claims were held up in reality. Let me show you the actual bullets. That red tipped one right there is our 20 grainer, and the gray tipped one is the 25 grain bullet. So we're dealing with a slower, fatter round. What kind of difference is it going to make? I actually have no idea, but I figured we'd do some ballistic testing. We'll do some accuracy testing. I'll throw a couple of rounds over the chronograph, and we're just going to see if there's any noticeable difference between these two. And the rifle we're using is the Savage BMag in 17 WSM with a Vortex Viper PST Gen 2 3 to 15 power on top. Let's start out with the fun stuff. I've got one round of the slower, fatter Winchester HE loaded up here, and I've got two of these big old fatty apples downrange. Let's see what kind of damage it does. Let's see if maybe we can catch some of the bits and pieces from this round too. Holy, oh my goodness. Wow, it really blew those apples up. Let's go take a look at that slow-mo. So we got some big chunks of apple left here. Pretty well shredded up though. I mean, that round did a number on their guts. Interesting note though, you guys saw that we hit the clay just a little bit after it went through those two apples, and this is the most lead and jacket I've ever recovered from one of these 17 rounds. That was sticking about a ½ inch into the clay past those two apples. So I mean, it looks like it's held together better than the 20 grainers. Let's see for sure though. I'm going to put up two more apples. We'll take a shot with the 20 grainers, see if we can find anything left over or if it just blows little pieces. Two new fresh apples downrange. We've got the red tip 20 grainer loaded up here. Let's see if it makes any difference. Holy moly. Wow. I think it made a big difference. Let's go check that slow-mo. So I gotta admit, I was a little concerned taking this new round out here that it wouldn't be really any different than what we had shot previously, but I just got proved wrong. I had nothing to worry about. These rounds are extremely different. You could probably already tell from the slow motion, but that's about all that's left of the first apple there. No big chunks left of that first apple. It was splattered, so already really different. And then here's the second apple. So we did have 100% penetration through the second apple, but it's held together really well. There wasn't enough projectile still traveling past that first apple to do significant damage with the 20 grainer. not like we saw with the 25. So already we can tell there's a big difference. It's pretty awesome to see. And I did manage to find one little itty bitty piece of lead on the backside in the clay, but we didn't have any penetration. It just kind of hit the clay and bounced off and was sitting on the table. That little itty bitty bit. So I'm pretty excited. We've got a round that does something different. Let's see what it can do. I'm gonna put up some dog food. Actually, we're gonna do some water bottles next. Then we'll do some dog food, and let's check out those differences. Yuck. One round of the fat 25 grain bullet versus 2 water bottles. Will it go all the way through? Let's find out. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. That really lit those bottles up. Okay, cool. Let me go check the carnage while you guys are looking at the slow-mo. So that 25 grain round is it's kind of a beast. I think you guys probably saw a little bit better than I did with my eye down the scope, but after we hit these 2 bottles, I'm about 10 yards away. One of them flew all the way back to my table. My dad would probably want me to go ahead and put these safety glasses on, which I have been neglecting to do. Next time I definitely will. So, as for the bottles, first one, pretty significant hit there. Tore it up pretty good. Came out the back shredding this plastic, and this is pretty significant thick plastic. Second hit, hard to tell which one's the entrance and exit. They're both kind of popped out, but we just got a little hole there and then a nice little cut there. I'm guessing it probably went in there and popped it out, blew it out a good bit with the energy it had coming in, and that was what it had coming out, and it just put a dimple in the clay, and I found this sitting on the table right there. So just a little piece of lead from that 25 grain bullet. It's pretty darn impressive. I got a feeling we're gonna shoot the 20 grainer. Got 2 more bottles up. I don't even think the 20 grainer is gonna make it through the first bottle. I think it's gonna blow up. Let's find out. This is pretty amazing. Right, so 20 grainer loaded up. Well, come on, load up, buddy. There we go. Safety glasses on. Woo! Let's see. Let's see what happens here. 2 more bottles. Huh. Okay. All right. I can't really tell what happened. We blew the clay off of the table again, but I'm gonna have to check that carnage out. You guys watch slow-mo. So I was a little bit wrong. It did go through the first one, but it just barely hit that second one. Let me show you a little closer here. A lot of damage on that first one. Just really put a hurting on it. Blew it up really nicely. Tore out some big holes. Definitely, well, gosh, I don't know. I mean, pretty comparable. Here's the 20 grainer. Here's the 25 grainer. I guess on the back side, yeah, definitely more damage out the back on the 20 grainer. But our second bottle, just tiny little hole, barely hit it, and it looks like it was pushing to do most of that damage there, and not really, I don't know, not really sending like a significant fragment of projectile through there. Where's my, oh, there it is. On our hit with the 25 grainer, I mean, we can definitely see a hole that went all the way through, and this one did not come out the back. So we're getting more penetration with that 25 grain round for sure. Tearing up some water bottles. Let's do the small game simulator. 25 grain bullet, extra large can of dog food. Let's see what kind of damage she does. Oh man. Man, I just got covered in dog food. Jeez, oh Pete's. And why? Why didn't anybody remind me to put on the safety glasses? Ugh. Oh, our 25 grainer just nuked this can of dog food, and I believe this is the entrance, if you want to call it that. And then here's that jagged, beat up exit where it was just shredded after it went through the can. The actual round did hit the clay, but we really don't have much left there. It was enough to put a little dimple in the clay and get stuck in the clay, but not enough to do any serious kind of damage after it went through that can. So 25 grainer is robust enough to continue through a pretty serious can of dog food, small game simulator, but I'm not going to do much after that. How is our 20 grainer going to do? Let's put it to the test. Safety first. Here comes that 20 grainer. My prediction, I don't think we're going to see full penetration. I think this one's going to nuke that can real good, but once it gets to the back of the can, I think it's just going to barely poke the back of the can here. Let's find out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Glad I put these glasses on. I've got another jeez, Pete's dog food everywhere. So I think I got this one mostly right. Here is that can of dog food, and we filleted it here. It's totally spread open here, and on the back is just the tiniest hint of a hole right there where that bullet might have gone through, just a little shard or fragment. But if anything got through, it didn't go very far. Our clay was undamaged, and we're just going to compare that to the 25 grainer, which did some pretty significant damage on the way in and the way out. This one just hit that can of dog food and really just laid it open. All right, moving on. I want to do an accuracy test. I want to do some chronograph testing. So for you guys who just want to see stuff blow up, that's over. Now we're going to do some science. I've got a target set up at 100 yards. Should be able to see that on our little doobly-doo screen somewhere over there. Got 5 rounds of the 25 grainers. Now, this scope and this rifle is zeroed for the 20 grain rounds, not the 25. Now, these things are rare and expensive. I'm not going to spend time fiddling with my scope and re-zeroing because it's not worth it. Okay, so you guys who get really antsy when I don't hit the bullseye, I'm not trying to hit the bullseye. I'm trying to see what size group I get down there at 100, aiming at the same spot over and over again. So, and I'm predicting that these are a good bit slower and a good bit heavier, that we're probably going to be a good bit lower on our target. So I'm going to aim for the upper left-hand corner, and we'll see where these guys land. There's also a decent breeze blowing across me going this way, probably 5 to 10 miles an hour gusts. I've heard that can affect these rounds a good bit. Don't know personally, but we'll see if it makes a difference. Alrighty, we've got it loaded up here. Did I put one in the chamber? I think I did. Nope, I didn't. Let's load up a fresh one. We're set up at 100 yards. Got the tactical sock. See what kind of group we can print down there. Oof. Hope we hit something. Those bullet holes are so tiny, I can't tell where we hit, but I think we got it. Round 2. Round 3. All right, number 4. And final round here. Okie dokie, I think I see our group, and I think that I've made a little bit of a mistake here. It looks like we're actually shooting a little bit high and to the right there, so we'll go check that out. Hopefully I got all 5 on paper, but if we didn't, we'll throw another 5 down there and see what happens. Here's a close-up look of our target, and this is the second group right here. And where's that? There's a third one right there. Our first one was up here in the tape. Again, a bunch of those went off of the target, unfortunately, but I think the results are pretty consistent between all of these. We've got about 1.5 inch, 1.75 inch groups there. Nothing really to write home about. I mean, I suppose it's not awful. I was kind of hoping we'd be closer to that 1 MOA mark, but I mean, it's good enough to get the job done at 100 yards on any sort of larger critter, which I think is the intended target for this particular rimfire round. As you saw, the damage is pretty darn impressive with this 25 grainer. It does punch further than the 20 grainer. I could see them being picked over that 20 grain round if you were going after coyote, beaver, any other larger small game. They would definitely put something down a little quicker, penetrate a little farther, I think, and still just give you that awesome expansion that the 17 WSM is known for. As far as speed on the chrono, here it comes. Shot number 1, 27:29. Shot number 2, 27:26. Shot number 3, 26:85. Looks like we have got right around that 2700 mark, and that equals this amount of foot-pounds of energy. And that is all I've got for you today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.